Hey, I'm Brody Brazil, and welcome to Teal Town After Dark.
Happy New Year from all of us at Teal Town, USA, and most importantly, happy birthday to Sharks Radio play-by-play.
Fatality. Fatality.
I swear I haven't had anything to drink. Let's try that again because this is live.
I haven't had anything to drink. Yes, you haven't had a single thing, dude.
That's right. And especially a happy birthday to Sharks Radio play-by-play voice Dan Ruzanowski. I wish it could be a nice birthday, but the Sharks didn't get a nice victory out of this one. In fact, this was ugly, especially late. Welcome to Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks post-game show. We do this after every game, so of course, if you want to be a part of the show, there's multiple ways to interact with us, chat with us, and fellow Sharks fans and hockey fans all over the place in the YouTube chat on the page or the app. You can also at us at Teal Town USA, but make sure you hit us up on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and YouTube. With
Don't
me
forget the adult friend finder.
Does your wife know about that part?
Yes.
Dude, there were 13 goals scored in this game. Can we get to it already?
And
Yeah, can we just get this over with, please?
Jeez.
the two voices you just heard were Chris JWS.
Hey, buddy.
And AJ Strong.
Oh,
Boy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what the Flames were saying as they took on the San Jose Sharks tonight. And a minute 10 in, Backlund, his seventh from Tkachuk and Frolik. Frolik gets his first assist on the season. 1:10 in, 1-0 Calgary. AJ, not a great start.
No, it's not a great start. Game 2 of 4 versus Calgary. The Sharks won 3-1 on November 11th. You thought that with first place being on the line, this would be kind of, a significant matchup. You should have a ton of confidence after absolutely beating the crap out of Cam Talbot 2 days ago. But unfortunately, playing the part of Cam Talbot tonight will be Aaron Dell. Backlund scores a minute 10 in. Burns completely flubs a clear. Gives it right up to Calgary from Tkachuk and Frolik. And Tkachuk, that's a name that you're going to hear throughout the rest of this show.
Yeah. Monahan, Tkachuk, F him. Moving onward. But
do we have to do swear jar tonight? I mean, it's kind of the end of the year. We have budget left over, right?
Budget.
Keep it professional. That's what After Dark is for, people.
Yes. But at 6:53, Lukas Radil with a sweet dish from Timo Meier via Logan Couture at 6:53 ties this game up at 1. Chris, Radil, is he the real deal?
I was going for a different play on words. Mostly, well, it wasn't any play on words, but what is it with Europeans and thinking S is pronounced shh? It's s. Come on. But I was like, okay, well, that first quick goal wasn't good. Maybe we're right back into it. Tied game, doesn't matter. Maybe you can kind of get things more even, but it wouldn't be.
Just real quick on the Twitter, Fact or Fiction. Sharks call up Bebo after tonight's loss. I got to be honest with you, whether I'm Cornash or Bebo, if I get the call, you're coming up to the big club, I'd be like, no, I'm good. Kuda's rolling. I'm fine.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and the reason why that's getting questioned around, Backlund gets his second of the game at 10:55 from Frolik and Tkachuk. Yes, these names will be getting familiar with you for the rest of the year, rest of this night. 2-1 Calgary. AJ, just what is it with these Backlund? I mean, Backlund's been kind of but Tkachuk's been on a roll this year.
Getting back to the Radil goal, though, Radil slams home a nice pass from Meyer, who got it from Couture. That all started with a nice lead out pass from Burns. That was the one good thing Burns did tonight. He should have gotten a tertiary assist for starting that play. Thornton would get a high stick on Monahan at 8 minutes. There's a couple dangerous chances for the Sharks, but that was at the very end of the power play. It took them forever to get that going. For Backlund, that one's not one you can blame on Dell. I mean, it was tipped twice. I mean, it started with a shot from Tkachuk, tipped by Frolik, then tipped again from Backlund. That's not one you can hang on Dell. Might be the only one. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know that you can hang anything on Dell tonight. I mean, the team defense, that second Gaudreau goal, holy crap, which we'll get to later. But check Teal Town USA's Twitter. Go look at the GIF. There was no defense. That was offense. There was no D.
It was more like meh-fence, right?
E-fence. E-fence. E-fence.
And then at
17-16.
Yes, Carlson takes a trip on Matthew Tkachuk, which sets up the power play for Matthew Tkachuk. I thought it was going off of a Giordano, but apparently it was a double deflection. Tkachuk gets his 17th from Monahan and Giordano. That's a power play goal at 17:24, Chris. It makes it 3-1 after one. Not exactly the best start to the game where you have a chance, like AJ mentioned, with a regulation win, the Sharks could have taken over first place in Pacific.
Yeah, but, you got to crawl before you can walk, or wherever the expression is. But first of all, that penalty, that kind of looked like a dive to me. But, that only gets called when it's a Sharks player doing it.
Hey,
hold on. Laurel throwing us $10 in the super chat.
Whoa!
Oh, Laurel, you are
and Marty McFly with the $1.99.
Sharks D with the Bird Box blindfold tonight. Oh, I don't know. Some of the refs might have been wearing it too. They might have been, sharing it.
Wow. I mean, we'll get to the debate later over where they actually had to literally have a I think a 3-round debate over was that a penalty or was it not? But
we do have to acknowledge Laurel's donation. This is for the swear jar for the entire USA crew to cover all the fucking cursing. I want you to do a Happy New Year. That is what she said. That is not my words.
Oh boy!
So that doesn't count. That technically does not count. That's basically it's like a tax write-off for the swear jar. Yeah. So yeah, we will use that swear budget later in the show because there will be swearing. Because I mean, it's going to be like the goals in this game where they'll kind of just blend together. The swear words will blend together.
Oh, and Rob pointing out that Calgary Twitter is trying to defend Bennett's hit on Shimmick. Good luck with that.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get into that in a little bit.
Yeah. Here's my favorite part of the game, though. At 18:37 of the second period, Lindholm high sticks Meyer. We have it. We have the GIF. Go look at it. It's on Teal Town USA Twitter. I don't understand how the refs. It's like they couldn't remember. Wait a minute, is high sticking a penalty or not? I can't remember. Are they still calling that? I mean, he goes in the box, he comes out of the box, he goes back in the box. It was like the Ratty goal versus Edmonton 2 nights ago, where it's like, well, no, it's not a Ratty goal. We're giving that to McDavid. Well, how does that end up McDavid's goal if you already? Oh, this officiating. Oh.
I mean, I swear they were they had a full Oxford style debate about this amongst themselves. That's the most thought I've ever seen the refs give to is it a penalty, is it not? It's like they were discussing the meaning of life or something. It's a goal.
Gen X is calling that they conferred to make sure they got the right guy. Sure. Okay, that's fine, but for 20 minutes, holy hell.
Well, I mean, it was almost like the McLaughlin group. It's is it a 5-minute major? Papucano. Well, I think wrong. I mean, come on now.
Nobody here knows who that is.
Okay, anyway, never mind. SNL, whatever. Second period now. Oh, wait.
That's where we've been, dude. I just talked about the ready go. We're into the second. Let's go. LeBanc trip by Anderson. 2:51. Go.
And then Brent Burns with a sweet one-timer. buries it home on the low end. His 6th of the season from Pavelski at 3:55. Power play goal, AJ. They're back within 1.
Oh.
Oh, good for you.
I mean, okay, yeah, it's nice that you get on the power play. Let's also discuss that, the Sharks have allowed allowed a power play goal in 5 of their last 6 games. But, okay, so you get on the power play and you're going, okay, so you're telling me there's a chance 3-2. All right. And a hell of a laser shot. I'll give them that. The Sharks, when they shoot from the blue line, usually it's kind of one and done. But this one was straight on point. I'll give you that one. And that's one that Reddit wants to have back. That is what, because there was nobody in front of him.
Yeah, there was no screen, no tip, no doubt. That was a laser.
Yeah.
And then
I was going to say, are we going to continue vamping while you do whatever it is you're doing in the background?
And he's trying to determine about the details of a penalty. It won't be 20 minutes, Gen X. Don't worry.
All right. Yeah, Gen X, dude. Yes, it wasn't 20 minutes. Don't be so goddamn literal. You know what I meant. Stop it.
Can we get like a bell sound effect for every swear? Like ding, like Brandon Tierney style?
Fucking bass players, man.
Dang.
No, literally. Bass players are the worst.
Tonight's edition is
dumb rhythm
filled
monkeys
with extra sodium.
Oh,
And I haven't gotten to that part
salt
yet.
is real.
I got to pull the 2001 sounder off the board too, since that got us in trouble last time.
Oh yeah. What also got the Sharks in trouble is Matthew Tkachuk getting his 2nd of the game from Goodrow and Monahan to make it 4-2 Calgary at 10:47. Chris,
why do you keep missing stuff, man? What happened? What happened exactly 2 minutes before then? Milker got caught holding Giordano. That Tkachuk goal is a tic-tac-toe play from Gaudreau and Monahan, but it was right as the power play expired. You have to at least acknowledge that was a power play influence goal.
It was a power play influence goal because it had occurred just as Milker was putting his skate on the ice. You are absolutely right, Mr. Strong. I apologize for that.
All right.
You must apologize to the AJ.
Hey now.
I don't respect his underscore that much, right?
You don't even have an underscore. What do you know about underscore, sir?
Really? Oh boy, we are just off the wall. If I'm not mistaken, the goaltender interference occurred just immediately after this. Am I not mistaken, Mr. Strong?
Yes, that is correct. Bennett gets a goal taken away after review. I don't know that I can see this from both sides. I could see why Calgary would be pissed that it didn't count, but if that whole thing, if everybody that's involved in that are wearing the opposite jerseys, I'm going, oh boy.
Honestly, this was also a case with review where actually the slow motion to me made it look less like interference than it was. Like, to me, in real time, it looked more like interference as opposed to the other way around. Where I thought the slow motion, I think, if anything, that's what made me think, like, oh, the refs they're gonna uphold it because the slow motion doesn't look as bad as the real time. I'm pretty iffy on that one. I'd probably say BS, but it wouldn't be like clear cut BS if it was against us. I wouldn't be like, that's clearly wrong. I don't know. It's right in that gray area where you're not quite sure.
Yeah. Andrew Wilson. Hey, Sharks fan, can we stop yelling headshot until we see a replay that wasn't wide angle? I'm assuming that's talking about Bennett on Shimmick.
Yes.
I don't know if Andrew Wilson is a Flames fan or not, but we haven't said headshot this entire show so far. In fact, we haven't even gotten to that play. But maybe that's the reason why Bennett did lose his mind at the end of this, because he had a goal taken away by review. Maybe him and Gaudreau or Tkachuk or whoever had a bet placed on this like this to who was going to pay for the party after the game, no matter what happens, since it was New Year's. But again, it's one of those ones with Bennett. I can understand why he's upset. And again, just to Chris hit it on the head. It makes you kind of wonder, like, it looked far more egregious in real time, yet in real time it was called a goal. So what are you going to do? And then I think about 30 seconds later, Erik Karlsson was elbowed to the face, and guess what? No call. Yet we have video of it on our Twitter. And so there's another one. Stellar officiating these last two games. I'm just saying.
Oh.
And this is, again, I have to emphasize, a two-way thing. We see, like, last month or so, the officiating just across the board has been horrendous.
Didn't Burns get credited for a goal?
Sharks.
Didn't Burns get a goal the other day that probably shouldn't have been counted a goal because it went off the netting? I mean, just
that was in the Anaheim game. That was earlier this week.
Horrible.
Did they like pull an NFL and put replacement refs in there or something? I mean, you guys remember 2012 and what a delightful bit of NFL football that was for 4 weeks.
I loved that. That was where you didn't have to catch the ball. You just had to catch the guy who caught the ball to score the touchdown. It was beautiful.
Penalty, red.
Everybody but the center.
I mean, that's what it feels like right now. Is it feels kind of like how that felt with the replacement refs, where it's like, do these guys know what they're doing? Because they're missing calls just all over the place. They're calling things that shouldn't be called. I really don't know. Like, it's just some really bizarre stuff that I'm just like, I don't know what to make of it. I'm not even upset about it for the Sharks as much as just like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, and just to point this out, this is kind of funny. Did I just see my Kayla Kitty get put in the air? But well, yeah, she wanted to leave. Come on, man. But
Cats like to roam, okay?
Yeah, Jefferson Humphreys, who is evidently a personality on CTV up in Calgary, is just chirping Brody on Twitter right now. This is kind of interesting. Yeah, basically,
you mess with the bro dog, you get the horns.
Right. Well, basically, Brody tweeting out video of the Bennett hit on Shimmick saying, "Dear player safety, can I suggest 5 games? Signed all of us." And Jeffrey Humphreys saying, "Oh, this is Brody's first time watching hockey."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Brody's response, "Stick to just reading straight off the teleprompter, bud. Live chirping isn't your thing."
Woo!
Yeah. So grab the popcorn, kids.
Oh, that is and it takes a lot to get Brody pissed off. So
it does. You talked about it. You're also talking about a father who typically they just by nature, biologically, they have a little more patience than the average bear. So this is impressive.
Wow, this should be interesting. All right. So
anyway, Donskoy at 1822.
I think we have to finish out this slog fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1822. Donskoy from Kane and Hurdle. Another great tic-tac-toe play today, by the way. There was a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
And just when you're like, oh, yes, okay, Donskoy. This is like his, third goal in 3 games or something. And it's like, okay, Donskoy's starting to get his act together. And we've seen now that all of a sudden Hurdle's, the Anaheim game kind of sucked. But the last game, tonight's game, Hurdle finding success at center. You're going, all right. And then, of course, a minute later, Lindholm. And it's just and Braun, Meyer, and Vlasic all caught deep. I just, oh my God, Vlasic and Braun. Can we just start Heed and Ryan the next game and let Vlasic and Braun just watch one from the box? Well, no, probably we can't because Shimmick's probably going to be out for like the next couple of games.
And to encapsulate all of this, AJ, can I get a beer sounder, please?
Oh, hey, to the hell now.
Yeah, that was basically my reaction to the last 30 minutes or so of this game because it's hard to isolate any one play because there were so many bad ones, but the team defense is horrendous. And I keep hearing on Twitter, the players are the ones who play. What do we pay coaches for then? Like,
put them in
the whole thing is
to succeed.
They have a job as well. The players have a job to execute as best they can, but coaches are the ones who actually teach them the systems, correct the mistakes, and we've seen this all season long, and it's been uncharacteristically bad. This group is mostly the same outside of, a Norris Trophy winner,
2-time Norris Trophy winner.
Yeah, so it didn't exactly like lose talent over the last off season.
This is what I'm saying. Like, wait a minute, hold on.
But
you're minus Dylan DeMello, you're positive EK65, and your defense got worse. What?
Yeah, and a lot of it has not been just, some of it has been individual player mistakes, but a lot of the worst mistakes that I've seen have been from a guy like Vlasic, whose hallmark has been a boring game where he doesn't make mistakes. I think he's dealing with something of his own. That's my feeling just watching him, because he's never been a guy who's relied on his physical abilities to a great extent. He's been a guy who's relied on his smarts and his ability to just be very steady and very smart with his stick. So I think he's a sports psychologist or something, because he is in his own head. Burns is Burns. The ratio of Burns giveth and Burns taketh away has been way out of whack this season. Like, that's one of those wild cards with the Sharks every year since 2011.
Yeah. And just getting back really quickly to this whole Twitter dispute between Brody Brazil and Jefferson Humphreys. Somebody had a nice one that basically said there was 22 seconds left in the game. There's no reason for that hit, especially when you're winning. You're a joke. Go fix your sweater vest, Fruit Loop.
Wow.
Real quick in the chat, Andrew Wilson again chiming in, Vlasic diagnosis equal age. I completely disagree. Vlasic is 31 years old, give or take 6 months, I think. But he has not been physically declining. He has never been a guy who's relied overly on his like physical abilities, not like the overly physical defenseman. He's been the guy with the smart stick placement, the guy who reads his opponents real well. I mean,
his head
didn't have as great of a season last year, but he's been a guy who's been steady. And he's not been a guy who's relied on like having tremendous freakish physical ability.
This guy's head is not disagree.
But he is, yeah, exactly. He's making stupid mistakes. He's not just making mistakes. He's making really stupid mistakes like that are completely un-Vlasic like.
That's what I'm saying. Take a break. Go watch a game from the box.
And he did follow up with game getting faster. Both are getting slower.
Yeah.
Some truth to that, but I don't think so. It's because those guys over the last couple of years have gone against some of the fastest, best forwards and black holed a bunch of them. Like, I don't buy that they both just fell off a cliff in the same year, especially when they aren't that old. Yeah. In terms of sports, they're getting on the older side, but they aren't like in their late 30s. They're in their early 30s. I think Braun is 30, 31.
So
and
right
Vlasic
around
is
there.
31. Yeah. They're not at that stage where they fall off a cliff usually.
And Vlasic barely cracking 20 minutes tonight. And it makes you wonder. I don't know why the hell Brendan Dillon's ass was stapled to the bench for the third period. I'm assuming that there was some sort of injury that he was nursing because he didn't even crack 10 minutes tonight. But if Dillon does play 13 and 14, maybe some of those minutes come from Vlasic. Maybe he doesn't crack 20. But at some point, and it's got to be goddamn soon, you need to address this elephant in the room of the team defense and specifically Vlasic and Braun.
That was historically, that's been a steady 20, 25 minutes minimum a night. That has been, that 20 to 25 minutes, almost no mistakes, minimal chances, like you just could count on that. That was a foundational aspect to the Sharks for the last 5 or so years, where you knew there was a certain segment of the game you could always count on them to be that steadying presence, and they haven't been that, and that's been one of the biggest problems of this team this season.
Attention, Laurel, she's back. Just letting you know.
The Kayla Kitty is back.
Yes.
Go to the third period.
After 2 periods, Dell's beaten 5 times on 16 shots. Go.
Yeah, 48 seconds in, the Sharks are back in again. Jonas Donskoy with his second goal of the night. A killer laser pass from Erik Karlsson, along with Evander Kane getting the secondary assist. 5-4 Calgary. We're thinking Okay, here we go, folks. We're right back into this.
For the second time in the same game, Donskoy puts the Sharks within 1. You tease.
But yeah. And by the way, here's a guest on the show, Edgar.
And Laurel's just fallen in love yet again.
At this point, I'm going to have to get Marlo and Sharky by the end of this thing.
Yeah, we need lots of pets to get through this.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
The third period was very painful.
Especially since the next goal was a guy who ended a 24-game goalless drought. James Neal. Yes, apparently last year he was the real deal, according to Hockey Jerk. From Bennett and Hannafin at 3 minutes. The puck deflects off his skate and into the net. 6-4. AJ. Oh, no. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, no, that kind of sucked. Hey, look at that. I got a lower third.
Google is more spotty than the Sharks defense.
No, hey, no, my you're gonna enjoy this one. There you go. My issue with this is, okay, Neil gets his first in his last 217 games. Good for him. The problem that I have, and if you go again, look at our Twitter, we have the video from this. I don't know what the hell Brent Burns is doing during this play. He sits there and chases one of the Flames all the way around, comes behind the cage, all the way back up to the other side of the blue line, and then takes both himself and Kane out of the play. And then Neil just goes, "Oh, thanks, guys," and really, just
really.
That's all I'm saying.
Really?
A theme on Twitter for me all night has been almost like that seems like something that you'd want to coach out of him to not do. Saying.
I don't even know what.
All right, it's just ridiculousness, and then more ridiculousness. In fact, AJ, I think you have a sounder for this onslaught.
What are we talking about? What, Gaudreau, Lindholm, and Monahan? I don't have a copy-paste sounder. Oh,
could we just get a yakety sax or something? Yeah, please.
Gaudreau is 20th from Lindholm and Monahan at 548 to make it 7-4.
Fatality.
And then Johnny Gaudreau again. This time, Monahan with the primary assist, Lindholm with the secondary assist at 6:29, just 41 seconds after the first one to make it 8-4. And then the parade to the box began. Let's see. Kevin LeBanc for slashing. Then Johnny Gaudreau was slashing, which led to, yeah, bud, Joe Thornton slap shot pass to the net from Burns and Erik Karlsson at 13:15, giving you that slight glimmer of hope that things might go, that might make that comeback. Maybe.
Ooh, Kane.
No, I had no slimmer of hope at this point in this game because we'd already seen this drill a few times. Flame score, Shark score, Flame score, Shark score. Nah. I'm not falling for that again.
Kane. Oh, there is audio of Kane on the Twitter, man. That Sharks NBCS is reporting. Evander Kane saying, I leave the game and suddenly guys get a little taller on Calgary.
Ooh.
But that's the whole thing, though. If we're counting on Kane to be kind of the arbiter of shenanigans not happening, I don't know about that. But maybe that's the case if Dylan is clearly unavailable. But seriously, hey now.
Finish him.
And apparently the Flames did do that with just under 24 seconds left. Shimmick is admiring his pass. One thing that Mr. Jefferson Humphreys was saying, along with one of his commenters on his Twitter, that you're admiring his pass, something you learn in novice, gets reamed by Sam Bennett. Shimmick goes down. Barclay Goodrow defends his teammate, goes after him. They each get 5 for fighting. They each get a match penalty, among other things. Let me make sure I get all of this right here. So,
Dude,
oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would have expected the entire Sharks bench to just go out there. I mean, just full blown, what's slap shot? Just full blown slap shot at this point. I mean, that's how off the rails this game was already.
And Goodrow also got the game misconduct. Bennett gets the match penalty in that frame. And even before then, 20 seconds before then, that's when Evander Kane was having a tussle with half of the Calgary roster because they were taking shots at Donskoy after he was slew-footed and got a penalty call against Calgary in that sense. But let's get back to this hit, guys. And Chris, I'll start with you on this hit. What did you think of it? Did you like Goodrow coming after Bennett? And what's your take on all of it?
I'll let AJ go first, actually, because my take usually when it comes to the shenanigans is a lot different and better as a response. AJ,
the shenaniganery. You go.
All right. No. It's the only thing that kind of, I do think it was a dirty hit, especially when you take the score and the situation into account. However, I think it was kind of jacked up that Goodrow was the only one to respond. Like, I would have expected more from the rest of the team. Are we just showing screenshots at this point? Is that what's going on?
No, what this is, and Gen X put this on his Twitter, and he makes a good point here. Puck is off his stick at 26.4 left in the game. Bennett makes contact at 25.8. Shimmick down at 25.4. So the puck was well past Shimmick, and yes, he was admiring his pass, but a little bit of a breakdown there that I saw from Gen X. That's why I wanted to put it up really quick. Back to you, AJ.
And so what's the threshold? So if it's more than like 0.8 seconds, I mean, either way,
a second is not very long in real time.
This
is what I say about replay and slow-mo kind of is deceptive sometimes.
It's not long by any stretch. Again, I take into account if Calgary is down by 3 or 4 goals and they've played a crappy game and they do something like this. I'm not saying it's excusable by any stretch, but you could maybe understand it. Okay, this is a team that's incredibly frustrated. They go and do a stupid hit like that. Okay, but it's like you're up. And when did this hit happen? Like in the last 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes? I mean, the game was fait accompli. And you go and you do a stupid hit like that. That's just stupid. That's my whole thing on it. It's just like, why would you go after somebody like that when you have a healthy lead and there's next to no time left in the game? It's just, to me, really you scored 3 goals in 3.5 minutes at the beginning of the period, and you go and do something like that.
Will go past the second round. Not saying the Sharks will be there, but stuff like that.
To me, it's just I think it's stupid. It's like to me, that's a lack of awareness and IQ. Like, game situation, you're not down 4 goals inside of the first 6 minutes of a game. You're up 4 goals with no time left. Why?
So my take on this is, honestly, it's kind of a shrug, because the preoccupation with this is taking a lot of attention off the fact that the Sharks just executed like shit. Out of the swear jar there all game long. Thank you for sponsored by Laurel. But honestly, the game they played was dog turds, dog shit, whatever you want to call it. They played such a bad game execution wise all game long. They were turning the puck over. They were not breaking out effectively. That's the story of the game. The story of the game isn't who responded to what hit and who acted all macho and who demonstrated the proper machismo when somebody hit somebody. No, it's the Sharks executed terribly. just top to bottom. The players, some of it's on them, and some of this is on the coaches because this has been a problem all season long. And a lot of it's been on that bad defense, and a lot of it's been on just overall. A lot of guys are having very bad years. Vlasic being one of them, Braun being another. Thankfully, Carlson, after he had a rough start to the season, has come around. But at this point, if you're him, do you want to stay here with how bad this team and this coaching staff is doing? Well, I don't know. There's my rant for the night.
He might stay in. The coaching staff may leave. Gen X pointing out that Bennett was looking to lay a hit because of the wicked chop that Dell gave him, which is I can see that. We saw Bennett go after Dell. Oh wait, no, you didn't see that because for some reason NBCSN California didn't show it, but Sportsnet did, and we have the
truth
feed
is out there.
Yeah, we have. Oh, he had to go and say it, didn't he? He had to do it.
We need some humor. And there it is. Yes.
We have the Sportsnet feed on our Twitter at Tealtown USA, and you can see Dell takes a nifty hack at Bennett. Mm-hmm. And I saw something that went by in the chat. I apologize. I'm trying to keep tabs on several different things here. But Kane, somebody was trying to lay some blame on Kane. To a certain extent, yeah, Kane was. You can understand that Kane is probably a little pissed off. The last time he played in this barn, didn't he have a hat trick or something? I mean,
he had 4 goals.
Yeah. So, but I can understand that. And plus Kane also got kind of cheap shotted in that whole melee behind the cage. So, I mean, just everybody's cup runneth over in this. I did not expect, you got 2 teams that basically whoever comes out, 2 teams enter, 1 team leaves as the first place.
Finish him.
Yeah, yes.
Finish him.
Skylar Greenberg in the chat, penalty was called, but the fact still stands. The Flames tripped on Skoy and then went after him when he was down. Personally, I thought that looked close to a slew foot for it, and then they were going after him because Kachuk is Kachuk, and that is, going on. Kane was angry, wanted to fight, but the fact remains Kane was sent off. Kane was gone. They had no other players to do anything, especially since Dylan really didn't play much tonight. You wonder what's going on with that. We haven't heard anything about that. Here's the one thing that I take from this. The one thing that I guess kind of a silver lining you can take from this and use as something going forward. The Sharks have not had a villain in a long time. This Theo Fleury, Eddie Belfour, to a certain extent, Marty Turco, Chris Pronger. It's Rafi Torres. The Sharks have not had do a little Dustin Brown, his coach, maybe Soupy, but they haven't had a real villain since Chris Pronger. This could turn that around. Could you imagine? I want to know when's the next time we play Calgary at San Jose? Do we play them again in San Jose? God, we don't even see these assholes for the rest of the season in San Jose. Oh, that sucks. I'm looking at the schedule here. That
there's been less villains, though, is that villains in general are, that type of player is kind of leaving the NHL on its own, though.
That's true. Oh, Corey Perry. Yeah, that's a good one. Steve Ott, that was a good one. But they didn't. I mean, but a lot of that, though, was bred by playoffs.
Well,
so,
we get March 31st in Calgary.
Yeah.
Playoffs? Don't talk about.
Well, yeah, that was bred by playoffs.
Coming down from John
Playoffs?
Sorry to interrupt the sounder. I apologize there. John Shannon from Sportsnet. League taking a long, hard look at Bennett on Shimmick. Threshold is usually 0.6 seconds for late hits. This one is right on the edge.
Okay. And
it's also the other standard seems to be injury because we've seen plenty of nasty hits that didn't result in injury, luckily. But
hello, Kevin LeBanc.
Yeah.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson totally drills LeBanc in the head. His head goes back, bounces off the glass. He goes down. But because LeBanc is not made of glass and is able to skate it off, probably should have went to the room. I don't even know that he did. But either way, LeBanc skates away from it. Nothing happens to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Meanwhile, Austin Wagner is made of glass. EK65 like shoulders him, gets a little bit of his chin after the hit, after the initial point of contact in the shoulder, and gets 2 games. You know what? And the reason being is because Austin Wagner is made of glass and missed some games. F you, NHL player safety. I mean, come on. Have a little bit of fucking consistency. What happens to the player, how many games that person misses, should not be the delineating factor as to how many games of a suspension somebody gets. It's fucking bullshit.
So real quick, we should probably do this for housekeeping's sake, but those of you watching, 47 of you, or sorry, 48 now I see on there, thank you for tuning in, and hit the little subscribe button if you haven't. And if you have already, hit the like. That helps a lot in the algorithm. You know, we're trying to grow this thing. So thank you very much. But we should probably put a bow on this bag of flaming dog turds because, man.
Well, I want to see that. Can Eric? Can you like send the link to Gen X so he can come in and defend his comments? Because he's sitting there. Oh dear Lord, the OEL hit was an elbow and hit to head. This is a borderline late hit. They are different scenarios. I'm not saying that the same goddamn thing. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
No. We don't need to start up something with Gen X. We can.
No, but I'm just saying it's
bring
just
on the
silly.
technologist and grill him, dude.
It comes down to the fact that too much is placed by NHL player safety. Too much is placed on what happens to the player who took the hit versus like how dirty the actual hit was. I'm not saying that tonight's hit, that Bennett's hit, was a little dirt on that? Yeah, there was absolutely some dirt on that. Does it fall within the whole 0.6 seconds thing? Yes, it does. I will totally grant you that. But the fact that when you look at what that Carlson getting 2 games for his hit on Austin Wagner, and OEL gets nothing for what he did to LeBanc, which I would think that most people would agree was far more egregious. Explain that.
Let's get to that bat. You know, we'll do that another day. But
Don Julio saying that Bennett had a questionable hit on Confer in October. Confer missed some games. Bennett got nothing. So there's that. But really quickly, we'll wrap this up. Chris, I'll start with you. What do you expect will happen to Bennett, and what do you think player safety will actually do to it? And then I'll ask that to AJ.
I don't think anything is going to come of it because, again, I think outcome matters as much as anything based off of their track record. But honestly, might as well flip a coin for all my opinion's worth because you never know. And Laurel's saying it's 1 cent a swear word. I don't know. I think we said it at like 50 cents a swear word, but
I
we'll see.
And I was over the line with my egregious profanity.
AJ, what do you expect Bennett to get yourself, and what do you expect the player safety to give them?
Well, they both got tossed, right? Which means automatic hearing for both. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. So they I mean, each one's getting reviewed, and we're talking about Bennett and Goodrow. Not really sure what Goodrow. I mean, what?
He got fighting, a game misconduct, and an instigator.
What? I'm sorry, they called an instigator penalty? When was the last? I thought that they took that off the books. It's been so long since that's ever been called, but okay.
And because of that, and remind me if they took this rule away, but I thought when they ended the lockout in 05-06 that if a player starts an instigator penalty, isn't the coach fined and possibly suspended?
Well, that's a Gen X question, but
so
either way, what do I think's going to happen to Goodrow? Nothing. I don't think anything happens to Goodrow. I think he was there trying to stand up for a teammate. For Bennett, again, it falls on that precipice of the whole 6 second thing. But I think if you take into account the score, the time left in the game, game situation, I think Bennett gets minimum a game.
See, honestly, I feel like right now We need to reach around to lower the tension in this room.
Have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
I rarely agree about a reach around, but I think, Chris, you are absolutely right. Let's
Good for you.
let's do the NHL whip, wrap, reach around, whatever we want to call it. In Washington, Predators 6, Capitals 3. Another Goodrow score, but this time it was for Nashville. He ended up getting the game-winning goal. Johansson hit his 7th on the season, reigning with the victory over Holtby. In New Jersey, Blackwood gets another shutout for the Devils as the Devils win 4-0 over the Vancouver Canucks. Brian Boyle with the
Do
game.
it again and I mute you.
I'm not. I just finished the score of that one. Penguins 3, Wild 2. Crosby on the board with his 18th. Kessel with his 17th. Sheahan with his 5th. Parisi with his 17th as the Wild go down to the Penguins. In Buffalo, dang it. It was only Okposo who scored for the Buffalo Sabres. They lose 3-1. Leddy, Nelson, Pulak as Robin Leonard gets the win for the Islanders. In Carolina,
Palmanville loses.
He hasn't scored one in a while, damn it.
No, we are all happy. We only wish that like Finteract could depend on someone scoring.
No, sorry. We'll chop for sake this thing. Curtis McElhaney picks up the win for the Hurricanes as they beat the Flyers 3-1. Yes, Hart is not invincible. In St. Louis, the Rangers beat the Blues 2-1. Zuccarello and Neves with the goals. Ryan O'Reilly, his 15th. Jake Allen getting so much crap from Blues Twitter.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's that's bound to happen.
Oh,
He's more controversial than the MU was here. So
yeesh.
See what happens when your franchise adopts a puppy.
Here, around here it was like Alex Martinet and like 2 other people versus all of Twitter, and out there it's like, if you like multiply Alex times 2,
right? Columbus wins 6-3 over the Ottawa Senators. Ryan Dzingel gets 2 goals in a losing effort. Dubois with 2 goals on the night for the Neon Buggers. Bobrovsky with the victory for the Jackets. In a shootout, the Panthers win 4-3 over the Red Wings. Nobody scored in the third period, so Reimer versus Howard. Good on you, former Shark James Reimer with the victory in that one. In overtime, this one just finished up. Lightning 2, Ducks 1. Braden Point with the game-winning goal 35 seconds into overtime. Kucherov, his 19th goal. That kid's on a roll. Vasilevsky takes down John Gibson. In overtime, the Kings beat the Avalanche 3-2. Yes, you heard me. The Kings beat the Avalanche 3-2. Dustin Brown with the game winner less than a minute into overtime. McKinnon gets his 24th on the season.
Dude, look at the Kings, man. Over the last 2 weeks, not the same Kings team.
They beat Winnipeg. They beat the Sharks. Now they're on a roll.
Well, really, they just needed more scoring. I mean, that's been the story of them for a year or 2 now, but
right,
they just need to get a little more luck in the scoring. I haven't looked at what their PDO is. I assume their shooting percentage has probably gone up a little bit, but
well, and Kovalchuk's healthy now,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, boy, do we know.
Dano with 2 goals for Montreal, but it wasn't enough as Jamie Benn gets his 16th goal of the season on the power play.
Think Jim Lights felt good about that one?
I was hoping either you'd say that in French or swear at him as if you're his owner.
Jeff Petre with the Gain Le Bleu as Montreal goes and beats Dallas in overtime 3-2. And
wait, a French won anything? Wow.
Donald with a certain je ne sais quoi.
In
Winnipeg, the World Juniors going on, right?
Yes. We'll get to that in a little bit. Jets 4, Oilers 3. Tanev, Lemieux, not Mario, Blake Wheeler, and Lemieux again Scoring for the Jets, Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl twice in a losing effort for the Oilers.
About
Jumping
time
in
to-
real quick with a comment from the chat here. Andrew Wilson just pointing out Jones save percentage 898, Dell 904. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so-
I mean, part of that.
Speaking of goalies, though, I'm surprised Koskinen got in, right, for the Oil after Talbot let in 7.
Yeah. But yeah, part of the issue has been goaltending. I mean, they've also hung Della to dry so badly tonight because I can't think of more than one. Maybe I'm like, Della should have had that. But back to you, Puck Guy.
In the World Juniors on this night, the USA won 4-1 over Finland. Canada goes down to Russia 2-1. Oh boy, Canada hockey Twitter is going to be going nuts on that one. Czech Republic 4-0 over Denmark, and Sweden beats Kazakhstan 4-1. That continues. You can check out NHL Network for the World Juniors on that one. And now, here's AJ.
Real quick first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Interrupt here though. Abella SFG dropping.
Yeah, we all
there.
know who it is. We all know who it is. Puck Guy gave her $10 to throw in. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, keeping with the theme of San Jose teams playing, I don't know, teams that are on fire, have a lot of heat. There you go. The Barracuda go over to Stockton to face the Stockton Heat for their game for New Year's Eve. This one started interesting. Alexander True puts the Cuda up halfway at 5:36. It was so just, it was a nice snapshot from True. Wiederer would score at 16:47. Martin would open it up, getting the third goal. Meanwhile, okay, Reichel, yeah, he had a little bit of a scotch. Pollock. So after one, it was actually tied 2-2. In the second, you see that's when the Barracuda opened it all up. Martin scores at 1:49. Praplin scores at 8:56. Halbgewachs scores a measly 15 seconds later for the Cuda, and then Praplin will put a bow on it at 17:06 of the second. And for the Heat, Phillips would score at 4:30. Now, here's the problem. The Stockton Heat would make it interesting, score twice in the third frame, but the Cuda come away with the victory 6-5. You talk about how many goals were scored tonight between the Heat and the Cuda and the Sharks and the Flames. You got 6-5 in one game, 8-5 in the other. I mean, really, dog.
Overall, that's Flames organization 13, Sharks organization 11.
Oh,
all this talk of Heat and Flames, like we need like a drop of Paris Hilton. That's hot.
Oh, no, we do not. The Cuda maintain their lead in the Pacific Division, 42 points. Behind them, the Tucson Roadrunners at 38. Coming in third, the Colorado Eagles with 34 points. So, Barracuda, I'm just saying.
Way to keep doing whatever it is you're doing.
I'm just keep on going, boys. Gambrell barely made the sheet tonight. So tonight was a lot about the depth of the Barracuda. When you look at Wiederer, True, Martin, these are nice ones. Praplin getting 2 tonight. So good job on the Cuda. And their next game, as I roll over to my schedule, is... Holy hell, they play Stockton tomorrow at 7:00. In fact, they play a doubleheader. They play Jeez Louise, what a man. The Barracuda schedule is just cursed. So the Cuda will play tomorrow, and then they also play on the 2nd versus, wait a minute, 3 straight games versus Stockton? This can't be right. What am I looking
We have
at?
a hater in the chat, James Abel, saying AHL hockey is meaningless.
Okay,
No,
hold on.
dude,
That's
come
my
on.
bad.
Come
That's
on,
my
man.
bad.
All
My
sports
bad.
is
My bad.
meaningless.
My bad. I was looking at February. It's January. January 4th, they play at San Diego, the Gulls, and then on the 5th versus the Ontario Reign, starting a 3 games in a row versus the Ontario Reign, which should be quite fun. Those games usually are.
in San Diego, right, for the goals?
Yes, in San Diego for the goals. And
This
what's
Friday.
great is the 3 games versus the Ontario Reign. The Ontario Reign, just like the LA Kings, who is their affiliate, bottom of the division. It's amazing how all of that kind of coalesces and comes together. So there's your kind of CUDA highlights. And as 2019 approaches, we're hoping to do a little bit more with the CUDA. I think you'll be surprised about some of the stuff we end up coming up with. So anyway, we'll
big
take
things in the works. But real
Yes.
quick, Abel SFG saying she did on her own. AJ, thank you very much. Skylar Greenberg with 219. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Skylar.
2019.
That's
Could have
awesome,
done
Skylar.
$20.19, but no, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, that's like that. Oh, what? He's not Laurel. It's all right.
But thank you. No, we appreciate it very much.
Yes, absolutely. And so let's see here. So on hot pissed off hockey Twitter, John Shannon again saying league taking a long hard look at the Bennett hit on Shimmick. One says good, he should get 3 games. Somebody else says a bit of an overreaction. So I can't wait to see how this goes. That's all I'm saying. Can't wait to see what player safety comes down with. Again, you go back. I still think that the Carlson suspension was too much, and OEL didn't get anything. Maybe those 2 things kind of balance themselves out. Let's just see what Bennett gets.
It takes player safety a day or 2 to flip the coin. It takes time.
It does.
Okay.
Oh, I figured they had to sharpen the darts. But my bigger thing is how long is Shimmick going to be out for?
Yeah. As long as we're in the reach run kind of mood, Dallas has apparently got that 2020 Winter Classic. I'm sure Chicago will be playing them because that's literally the only. I don't know. How many has Chicago been in? 6, 7? I don't know. I've lost track.
Too many. I'm surprised they haven't had Comiskey Park.
My bet's on
as a
Detroit.
site.
My bet's on Dallas versus Detroit.
I would go St. Louis, but I think if you're going on rivalry in the past, you could go St. Louis. You could go Chicago, but to throw it in, why not the Sharks?
I'm going Dallas, Detroit because hey, you love the
if you're
if
you're trying to grow the game, reference there. Maybe Nashville because Nashville's pretty good. Same division rival. I don't know.
A couple of good points in Twitter reverses the Bennett on Shimmick hit. Somebody says hardly intent to injure, didn't leave his feet, didn't target head, although I think that needs to be seen with a better camera angle. It was a bit late for sure, but not dirty. Dell's spear to the balls of Bennett was a different conversation. And the response to that was, if it wasn't an intent to injure, and this I think will also factor in heavily to player safety, if it wasn't an intent to injure, why did Bennett skate all the way across the ice and lead his body forward? Game is out of reach. No reason for that.
Yep.
But I'm with Drew Remenda on this one. I hate the expression "leave your feet" because you can't leave your unless you will launch.
Oh, let's not.
Unless you're like
this.
a 5-foot player launching upwards. Yeah, I get what it's supposed to mean, but yeah, forget that. But so I heard some reference there to Dell hitting someone in the schmecky, but whichever.
Schmeckel. I'm still going with Detroit, Dallas. I don't know why. Who the hell's playing tomorrow?
It's Boston and Chicago.
Of course it is. Why
at
wouldn't
Notre
it be?
Dame Stadium.
Oh Christ!
The other thing that's being mentioned, along with the Dallas getting the Winter Classic, is that Regina. That's right, Regina, Saskatchewan will be reportedly hosting a Heritage Classic.
Sorry, I just snicker because of the name of the city.
Oh yeah, that's right. The NHL gets to experience Regina. Oh yeah. Those who know.
Finish him.
Yeah, I know, right? But reportedly it's Winnipeg and Calgary.
Right,
So, all right. With that,
Dear God.
Take us into the new year, damn it! Because
oh my gosh,
We have peaked at Regina.
Bullshit. We're going for another hour and 50, boys. New Year's 2019. Here we go.
Well, apparently AJ's going till the break of dawn. It's AJ Strong's New Year's Puckin' Eve 2019.
Dude, it's AJ's after 2019 New Year's puck extravaganza. If I'm going to do one of these stupid word things that Puck Guy does.
There might be a after dark tonight. I won't be there, but AJ might be there, and some other people might be there, and it might be fun.
And congratulations to Puck Guy for getting called out by Sonia on the Twitter mission in the first.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that whole story. I think that was at the prospect scrimmage last year. I ran into Sonia's dad, and he noticed my jersey, and sure enough, hey, you're Puck Guy. It's like, I'm Entidenko. I'm Sonia's dad. It's like, oh, nice to meet you. And great guy. Obviously has a great mind and family going on with Sonia dropping the hockey knowledge on Brody's butt. But yeah, thank you very much. That was a nice shout out, Sonia. Appreciate it.
And real quick in the upcomings before we wrap up on at least this part of things, but so next game is at Colorado on Wednesday, and then January 5th, Tampa Bay comes here. That's a special date for us. Puck Guy, you want to mention anything about that?
What?
Oh, yes.
Did I miss a memo?
Yes, you did.
Apparently you did, yes.
I'm going for a Nolan bobblehead. I don't know what you're talking
about. Well, January 5th is a special date for us, as that was 4 years ago, was our first ever live broadcast. So it'll be our 4-year anniversary on January 5th.
Come on, AJ. We get to suck our own dicks at least once in a while.
Wow.
Yeah, what he said.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, this is the 4-year anniversary of the first ever live broadcast. Please don't go look it up because honestly, my audio is terrible.
Hold on, yeah. It was 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. I'm waiting for your compilation next year on the 5-year anniversary of just like where you find all the worst looks of me, Eric, and of course yourself. But
good.
And just
there you go,
Sharks fan.
That was like worst. Episode 6 or 7 there.
Pizza.
All right. With that, in case you missed anything.
Look at Gen X. Why does going for a Nolan bobblehead sound like something you'd pay for at a brothel?
Oh my!
Oh my!
Also another throwback. Oh my!
We need to break that out.
Oh yeah!
We need to break that out on Saturday. In case you missed anything, or you want to watch this again and tell each other who's the ignorant slut, you can check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button to the YouTube channel. Also ring that bell because you will get a notification every time we go on the air. So final thoughts and where the people can find them, Mr. Chris JWS.
My final thought, because this is my final thought for the year, so it's very important.
Oh, but here we go.
Yeah, I know. I get strap this. There you go. No, final thought for the year, and actually, so first of all, I'm not gonna post one of those long diatribes to Twitter about how great this year has been and all the things I'm going to do in the new year. Because honestly, I was thinking about that. I'm like, it is just so over the top and it's so look at me. But honestly, one thing I've learned over the last year and I'm going to try and take into the next year is as much as I enjoy Sharks hockey, I have to remember it's just a game. There's real life. Take care of yourself. And that's my final thought for the year is enjoy it, but don't let it dominate your mood and don't neglect yourself in while you're enjoying it, or more likely not enjoying it. So keep that in mind. You can find me on Twitter on that downer. I'm at ChrisJWS. Have a good New Year.
AJ.
Okay. I'm just notified. We got a notification on Twitter. Again, we love playing with you guys in the YouTube chat, but every once in a while, little something comes across our Twitter feed, and somebody by the name of @SmileyFaceLou, which I do enjoy the Twitter handle. They tweeted out very they used a lot of diplomacy in their tweet, a lot of subtle language. They said, "Why the fuck is PDB not putting Dylan out there?" #Sharks. The fun part about this, it was liked by 2 people. One of those people was Brendan Dillon.
Oh,
His hello, the blue check mark.
And he wasn't even tagged in there, right?
No.
So somebody searches their name on Twitter.
Yeah, someone's got a little vanity search going on. So
does he follow Rocket? How does he not follow Rocket if he searches his
shame
name?
on him.
Okay,
So, I mean, if he searches his name, how does he not follow Rocket at this point?
and I want to thank Bomb Squad 450R on Twitter for bringing that to my attention. That is fantastic. You guys should host a hockey after show for the Flames with all your Calgary love. Really? That coming from Nedich. Chester Chivo. Chivo. And he sent that to me and Jerk, because unless the Sharks are playing the Flames, I will say that Jerk and I do have a little bit of kind of unrequited, closeted Flame love that we've harbored probably since Nolan played for the Flames. But damn. No, dude did not he hashtagged the Sharks, but this was sent directly to me from Bomb Squad 450R. I got to give you credit for that, because damn, that is cool. So good on you, Dilly. Yeah, I'd like to. You know what that says to me, though? Dylan's not injured. Like, why? Why was he sat, yet Vlasic and Braun are out there in those pivotal situations stinking up the place? So anyway, I digress. I hope you had a very nice 2018. I hope you have a spectacular 2019 that will bring you a nice big shiny trophy to stare at in June. So there you go.
Yeah, I agree. The Warriors will definitely win another Larry O'Brien. Sorry.
Oh, good for you.
There you go.
Oh, my God. Who the hell cares?
You can follow me at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and Instagram.
Was I done?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
I didn't tell anybody where they could find me. I was still busy on my final thought, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude, I was like getting full-blown Jerry Springer up in here, and you totally harshed my gig. Yeah, no. That is, my final thought is you can find me at AJ_Strong on Twitter and on Instagram and all the other things. And
good evening, Sharks fan.
If you want that to be your ringtone, I can make that happen.
Oh, you bastard.
And with that, there might be an after dark. I am more than happy, willing, and able to ride at you. Give me a little 10-minute break to reload my beer fridge and everything. I will take you through the last 90 minutes of this completely warped year, people. I will do it. Don't tempt me.
AJ Clark until the ball drops.
That's what I'm saying.
Or until Buckeyes balls drop. Anyways, back to you, Eric.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good evening, Sharks fan.
That will live forever.
Until next time, take care of yourself.
Yeah. You know what? I'm challenging Brody right now. I will go to midnight. When was the last time Brody went to midnight?
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
Brody, if you're watching, I think it's time for a Periscope showdown between you and Mr.
Hey, I'm Brody Brazil.
Well, his doppelganger used to host at midnight, so.
Oh, that's true.
That is true. Maybe it's time for a little Teal Town Late Night Confidential.
Well, in that case, until next time, Keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real, Teal. Have a great 2019. We will see you next year.
Hey, I'm Brody Brazil, and welcome to Teal Town After Dark.